Hello and welcome back, and thank you for tuning in again live. Today is Monday and it's October 21st already. Wow, where has the year gone? And it is currently noon here on the East Coast, and thank you for tuning in to the Skill Building Monday Drawing Group. I am your host, Jason Leeser, and if this is working for you, please drop me a comment, let me know in the chat, and please tag a friend who loves tattoos. Maybe it's a friend, a relative, everyone you know. Tag them in this. We're always trying to get the word out and get more people involved. So what better way than having you help us with that? And welcome to Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo Community, where tattooers, apprentices, collectors, and the curious are encouraged to join in these live streams, real-world events, to share and inspire and ultimately create better art and tattoos together. We beam out nearly every day, and with your help have evolved into a quality network of amazing live and on-demand tattoo and art shows that have all been receiving rave reviews. You can find Reinventing the Tattoo at www.reinventingthetattoo.com. And I think I even have like a little stock ticker I can throw up here if I can remember where I put it. There we go. There we go. You can try it out for free. There's no need to subscribe right away. We do offer 3 different options for you to try it out. The first option is to take a sample webinar from the Reinventing the Tattoo canon. That way you can get a sneak peek as far as what it's like behind the scenes should you decide to go through and get a subscription to Reinventing the Tattoo. Or option number 2, you can get some free advice from Guy Aitchison about goal setting and maybe some free advice on what you can do to work on. Or, personal favorite here, you can take a tattoo history course from Jay Brown. For fellow tattoo history nerds such as myself, this tattoo history course is incredible. I highly recommend it. It's absolutely phenomenal. It is really in depth and really goes into the meat and potatoes of how we got to where we are today. Once again, highly recommend it. That's the tattoo history course from Jay Brown. At reinventingthetattoo.com, you can also find a full event schedule with weekly and special event live stream details. For example, if you wanted to jump into today's session, maybe to ask a question or show off something you're working on, you can easily do that by going to the event schedule in reinventingthetattoo.com, right there on the website. And you can find today's listed event, click on that, and there will be a direct link to join me here live. As well, while you're at reinventingthetattoo.com, you can also find access to Reinventing 24/7, which is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week streaming service that we do offer. It has about 12 to 15 different episodes streaming at any given time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and is available on all web-enabled devices, smartphones, tablets, smart TVs, anything with a web browser that can access the internet. You can find Reinventing 24/7. While you're at reinventingthetattoo.com, you can also find access to a whole host of professional development workshops from over 20 world-class tattooers. For example, if you wanted to tattoo a koi fish half sleeve like Andre Malcolm, you could do that. We have a seminar on that. Maybe you want to tattoo a skull like Bob Tyrell. Well, guess what? We have a seminar on that too. Both of those and a whole lot more, all available at www.reinventingthetattoo.com. You can also find us in both of the app stores, the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, as well as our Reinventing the Tattoo YouTube channel, our Reinventing the Tattoo Roku channel, which is a lot like our Reinventing 24/7 channel. It's got 12 to 15 different episodes going at any given time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and is available on all Roku-enabled devices. You can also find us in all of the major podcast directories such as Apple and Spotify. Or you can do what most people do and just open your web browser and do a quick search for Reinventing the Tattoo and you'll find it all. It's all right there. Except for the book, which is out of print unless you find a copy on eBay, which a number of people have been reaching out to me, letting me know that they have found copies on eBay for sale. So if you are still looking to get a hold of a physical copy of the book, eBay is going to be just about the only place you can find it. So good luck with that. Once again, if this is working, please let me know in the comments and in the chat, and please tag a friend who loves tattoos. We have a number of weekly staple shows we always encourage people to jump into, starting off on Mondays at noon with this show, which is the Skill Building Monday Drawing Group, hosted by me, Jason Leeser, where we cover a wide variety of different topics, all to build our skill sets, whether it be our networking skills, or maybe it's our Procreate skills or our drawing and painting skills. We're always working on something here at Skill Building Monday, and we're trying to build up our skill set so that we can become the most effective and most proficient tattooer we possibly can be. Following today's show at noon, at 9 p.m., also Monday evenings, we have a subscribers exclusive drawing group with Sandy McAndrew at 9 p.m. And that is available only for people that have a subscription to either the Reinventing the Tattoo Canon, the Reinventing the Tattoo Evolution course, or the Monday Evening Subscribers course. I can tell you from firsthand experience, having a Monday evening drawing group where you are in there and you are specifically working on skills to help you become a better artist is absolutely priceless. I did it for about 2 years, and you can see a noticeable difference in the work that I was doing before I joined and the work that I'm doing now. It's absolutely amazing how hard it's going to push you to just be a better artist, and I could not recommend it anymore. Following Monday's sessions, on Tuesdays at 11 a.m., we have the Tattoo Weekly Show with Gabe Ripley, Fawn Baker, and Jake Meeks, where we get to stay up to date with all of the latest tattoo and industry news. Maybe it's new legislation being passed, or new restrictions, new requirements, new laws, blah, blah, blah. It's all there. That show is dedicated to keeping us up to date with everything going on in this industry. And that is at 11 a.m. on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays at noon, we have the Tattoo Now show with Gabe Ripley, where we get to go through and do a deeper dive into the business aspect behind tattooing. In the Tattoo Now show, we will discuss topics such as travel visas, marketing and advertising strategies, ways to maximize your profit, ways to go through and really hit your target audience, a whole lot more as well. And that's all based on the business aspect of the tattoo industry. Capping off the week, Thursdays at 6 p.m., we have the Tattoo Collecting 101 podcast with Fawn Baker, where we get to go through and share some of our stories from being on the road and getting the tattoo collections that we have. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes we learn some serious lessons along the way. All of that and a lot more, it's all discussed during the Tattoo Collecting 101 podcast. We do have a couple of special events. The first event is the fact that this is Cover Up Month here on the Reinventing the Tattoo Network. So join us for the Cover Up Mastery Program led by Guy Aitchison. It is a 4-week intensive and immersive program focused on mastering the art of cover-up tattoos. Because, as we all know, if you can do a really awesome cover-up on someone, they are 9 times more likely to come back in and give you fresh skin to work with. So why don't you develop those skills a little bit more? For more information, head on over to Reinventing the Tattoo. It should be right there on the landing page. Just scroll down, and you should see all the information you need to join us for the Cover Up Mastery Program led by Guy Aitchison. The second live event that we have coming up is October 24th through 27th. That's in 3 days. Uh-oh. I got a lot to do in the next few days. October 24th through 27th in Hancock, Massachusetts, the Paradise Tattoo Gathering. Reinventing the Tattoo will be live, and I'm telling you right now, this is going to be the tattoo event of the year. It's going to be held at Jiminy Peak in beautiful Hancock, Massachusetts, and we have got an all-star list of presenters this year, including Jake Meeks from the Fireside Network, Kyle Olson, Andre Malcolm will be there teaching a bodysuit seminar, Andy Chambers will be there teaching a large-scale design seminar. Chris Mack, Jade Napier, Frank DeMeo, Haley Adams will be flying out all the way from San Francisco. Amy Nichols, Damon Conklin, John Mesa, Mickey Schlick, Sandy McAndrew, flying out from Canada. Thea Duskin will be flying out. Corey Ferguson will be there. Steve Butcher will be teaching a seminar on realism. Marcus Lenhart and Kaya Heitland will be flying out from Vancouver Island in Canada. Gunnar will be there. Russ Abbott will be there. Bob Tyrell will be there, and a whole lot more. Just to give you an idea of what seminars will be going on this coming weekend, we have seminar dynamic sleeve design. We've got 3D models for Procreate. We have an advanced Procreate workshop. We have a bodysuit design seminar. We've got tax and accounting seminars. None of us really enjoy tax and accounting, but you know what? That information is priceless because, hey, who likes paying taxes, right? We also have at least 2 different realism. I'm pretty sure there's 4 total, but I could be wrong in that. But we have at least 2 absolutely top-notch realism seminars, and that's all going down this coming weekend, October 24th through 27th. That's Thursday through Sunday, out in beautiful Hancock, Massachusetts, for the Paradise Tattoo Gathering. Would like to go through and take a second to thank some of our sponsors and some of the people that make these shows happen. Starting off with WorldTattooEvents.com, the largest, most comprehensive resource for tattoo events worldwide. As we know, living in this post-pandemic era, there are still a whole lot of tattoo events and conventions that are getting rescheduled like crazy. So if you want to stay up to date with the latest, most up-to-date tattoo event or convention information coming to a city or town near you, or maybe it's one you plan on visiting, Lord knows that's how I schedule all my vacations, take a look at worldtattooevents.com. Would also like to thank TattooNow.com, technology for tattooers, the leading edge in professional development, management, and digital tools for tattoo artists of all levels. They're 100% competitive with any type of CRM, mailing list, or scheduling software out there. So if you're really looking for the digital tools to help you streamline your booking process, to really help you develop a much stronger client base, and help you get more people through the door that really want to get the kind of work that you really want to do, take a look at TattooNow.com. They are absolutely fantastic, and they've been doing this for over 20 years. Would also like to say a very special thank you to Guy Aitchison at GuyAitchison.com. He is the founder and inspiration behind Reinventing the Tattoo. You can head on over to GuyAitchison.com, where you can pick up a copy of his Biomech Encyclopedia, some of his tutorial DVDs. I believe he might still have a few custom coil machines for sale, as well as countless fine art paintings and countless fine art prints and the occasional original oil painting, all for sale at GuyAitchison.com. Would also like to say a very special thank you and shout out to Amy Nichols over at the Apprenticeship Diaries. That is my typical go-to source to direct people to should they be interested in getting an apprenticeship. I always refer them to this podcast. It's available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all over the place. Take a look, Amy Nichols over at the Apprenticeship Diaries. Thank you very much for all you have done. As always, we ask that if you like today's show, please go ahead and post a positive review on the channel. Help us get the word out. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down at the bottom of the page. This way you can stay up to date for all of the new upcoming shows. If you would like to host a Reinventing the Tattoo event, sponsor our community, or if you are looking for a fine art or a tattoo critique, you can always email management at reinventingthetattoo.com, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. And that kind of wraps up today's intro. Totally did not realize that Paradise Gathering was this coming weekend. Kind of caught me off guard there. Didn't quite realize what today's date was. So I have a lot to do in the next few days. Fortunately, I do already have my presentation together, so that's good. I as well will be presenting this year. I do have to run out to the art supply store today, though, because that is going to be critical if we want to do any kind of art collaboration, which will be going on, and I believe that's going to be going down Friday evening. Is a live, we're calling it a drink and draw kind of event up at Paradise Gathering. Last year we did, I believe, two of them. One was Friday night and one was Saturday night, where we had, if I remember correctly, 15 or 16 different artists all working on the same work of art, a couple of bodysuit designs, and hopefully this year we'll be able to get right back into it. So yeah, really looking forward to this year. I do have the comments and the chats open. If anyone does have a question at any point in time, by all means, please hit me up, let me know. I'm going to go through and just work on a quick little sketch. If anyone has any questions, like I said, just drop me a comment in the comment area, or hit that like button, or feel free to pop on to the live stream, and I'll be happy to chat with you about just about any topic you can imagine. Let me wheel over the old pad of eye. There we go. And this is just I've been practicing my waves uh, and drawing water lately. I took a really cool online seminar from Shane Ford up in Canada. You can find the full episode. I believe he posted it to YouTube, um, called Enter the Fishbowl. He's got a really great one on drawing water. It's really, really fantastic. So I've been going through it and practicing my waves. So I'm going to be drawing those for the next little bit. I do have quite a bit to do today, so today's show will be cut short. We'll probably go until about 12:45, so maybe another half hour. If anyone has any questions, chime in at any time. I'll be happy to chat with you. Otherwise, you guys feel free to stick around. I'm going to start sketching and doodling a little bit. And yeah, let me know if I can do anything for anyone. Let's move this over here. And sketching. Lately, I've really been favoring the Procreate pencil. Don't know why, but I have been. And I'm just, playing around, just sketching some stuff out, just practicing some waveforms, just trying to figure out a different or alternate way to draw waves. Um, I've noticed there are a couple of guys out there that are just really phenomenal at it. And, I always try to break things down and study what it is that they're doing and how can I achieve the same effect. Not that I'm trying to copy anyone's specific style or anything like that, but I'm just trying to understand how it is that they achieve the effect that they achieve. Different people have different ways to go about things, and they've got different little tricks that they've picked up along the way. And I figure if I can study their work and figure out how they do what they do so well, then it's only going to make my skill set even bigger and better, and I can take that skill and apply that to everything that I do. Sometimes there's like little stuff that you won't ever really pick up on unless you like talk to them or get tattooed by someone, and that's to be expected, right? Because I mean, typically speaking, we're looking at people that have a lot more experience than we do in this field. So, yeah, they're going to have learned a few things along the way that we won't ever possibly be able to know until we get to that kind of a level. So I'm just kind of going through, just kind of doodling. One artist that I've really been fascinated with their waveforms lately is Augustine Nizumi. Um, and his waveforms just have such great movement. And they've got great flow and a lot of energy. And I've really been trying to just like break down and analyze, why do I like his waves? What really attracts me to them? And then what little tricks is he using that I might be able to incorporate as well? Um, and when you sit down and, it's something I like to do every now and then. I just like to reflect on, okay, well, what is this? Why do I like it? Why am I like attracted to it, or why does it seem visually appealing to me? And then what can I do to try to achieve the same effect? If it's something I wish to incorporate into my own specific um, tool set. That's kind of the way that I look at a lot of stuff is, okay, is this a tool that I'm going to try to use? Or is this a tool that I don't think I'm ever really going to try to utilize? Um, to me, it just helps me prioritize whatever it is I'm looking at. And it helps me stay focused on the things that I know are going to help me achieve what it is I want to achieve. If the overall or overarching goal is just to be better, well, that's pretty easy to do. I mean, it doesn't take much. You just draw more, or draw more often, or, get out of your comfort zone and draw using different stuff. Um, but if we're really trying to work on achieving a specific goal, maybe it's, I don't know, becoming a better illustrative tattooer, or maybe it's, getting better at simplifying things. That's going to be something very specific that we are trying to achieve. So, going through and learning what we need to learn in order to achieve that very specific goal is going to be very different than if we have a much more broad goal. To me, I like having very specific goals. I just find that it really helps me hone in and dial in on one specific thing that I know I need to work on. For example, I spent, this wasn't that long ago actually, I spent about 2 years just working on my snakes. I've always found snakes to be very fascinating subject matter. So I spent probably about 2 years, every chance I got, just doodling and drawing snakes. And if I wasn't trying to draw them, I was trying to paint them. I was trying to understand them more. I was trying to understand the way that their bodies move, looking at their underbellies, looking at their eye placements, the head shapes, scale patterns, all of that. Just trying to get a better feel for what are they, what makes them up, and then how does that relate to the artwork I'm trying to create, right? Um, it's just little things like that when you sit down and you really try to examine what it is that you're doing and the goals that you're trying to achieve. Everything typically becomes a lot more clear, um, because it helps you crystallize exactly what it is you're going after and why you want to go after it. But I find that a lot of times people that don't have those goals set, that don't say, okay, this is a skill set I know I need to work on. Let me go through and learn this, and this, and I'll get a lot better at it. Well, okay, great, do that, you know. But that means that you kind of have to commit to it. You have to make that kind of commitment to go through and say, hey, you know what? I could have done this, I could have done that, and that's why I'm not where I want to be today. Maybe it kind of sounds a little sad or depressing to kind of put things that way, but it's the truth. If we know we need to get better at something, we need to set a goal and work on it, even if it's just for 10 minutes a day. You would be surprised at what 10 minutes a day can actually go through and achieve if we set our mind to it. Sometimes for waves, I like to throw just like some crashing wave kind of lines in here. I just find it gives it a little bit more direction. And you can always like create some little like wave marks, little holes, just to kind of show a little bit of moving depth. Cool. Dig that one. So I'm going to go through and we'll group these as I often do, and I'll stick with a similar base layer, add a new layer over top of that, just so that I can go through and, see how many different variations I can draw off of the same basic flow map or base layer. That's kind of the beautiful thing about drawing waveforms, is that you really can change everything up. Even if I'm working on the same basic layout and layer that I created before, I can do things in a very different style. And I can do things in a very different kind of a way. Maybe for this one, I want to make it a bit more rounded, create a bit more of that, maybe a bit of a shorter kind of crusting or rolling kind of an effect. To create more of like a gentle roll and not a super hard splash, I'm going to keep a lot of these uh, finger points a little bit shorter and a bit more wide. And that's going to give me almost like a gentle kind of like rolling kind of splash. I might throw in one or two that's a bit bigger, but typically speaking, I'm just going to keep them nice and kind of, for lack of a better term, I'm going to keep them nice and big and fat. And then that's just going to give me this like nice, gentle kind of roll over. Because if you really look at water and the way that water moves, if it's going with a gentle roll and just kind of like rolling over, say it's rolling over a rock or something like that, it doesn't necessarily have to have a ton of force behind it. The longer and more straight those finger points are when you're drawing a wave, the more force that water has, right? The more power. Think about if you had a bucket filled with water and you were just slowly pouring the bucket out, right? You would see that water kind of come over the lip of the bucket and just kind of like very slowly roll down. And it wouldn't really splash outward very much. It would just kind of like roll right over the top of it. Now imagine you had that same bucket of water, but you took the bucket on its side and you threw it, right? You threw the water out of the bucket. Imagine how that would look, right? You'd have a lot more force behind it. It would be going a lot further and a lot straighter, and it wouldn't arc quite as dramatically once it leaves that bucket. So there's a lot of different things you can convey just by looking at the water in an individual image. Maybe I'll keep this guy, but I'll just make it a little shorter. Oh, big shout out to Kevin Bledsoe, who's going to be up at Paradise this year teaching. Kevin is a homie of mine, and he has got sick work. Kevin, if you're watching or listening at all, man, your stuff rocks. It's just awesome. So, thank you for constantly being a source of inspiration to me. By keeping them a little bit shorter, you can almost feel that there's not quite as much force behind this kind of rolling wave. Um, Maybe there is a little bit towards the back end, but it's going to be a lot more of a gentle roll than anything else. So, I mean, you can create different emotions and different amounts of energy based on, just how long and straight and how detailed all of these little finger waves are. Um, and it's pretty interesting just to see the way that certain people develop them. Um, like I said, some of these, I mean, this isn't like a super traditional wave. We can get into drawing those in just a minute. I am still here for people that are wondering if like the audio cut out. It hasn't. Just kind of having fun drawing some waves, little curly cues, little curves and bumps. You never know what you're going to learn along the way when it comes down to drawing waves or anything else for that matter. You're always going to learn something every time you draw something. Even if it's, oh man, okay, well, I tried that approach and that really didn't work. Or, maybe this is something I need to work on a little bit more than I thought. There's always something you can take away from everything anytime you draw. You just have to try to sit down and figure out what it is because it's not always going to be super overt. But that is kind of why I like the pursuit of art And that's because I find that it forces me to constantly learn, and it constantly helps me question, well, why do I do this? Why do I like this? Can I do better than that? Why did this artist do this way and not that way? Is there a reasoning behind it? If there is, can I figure that out? You know, it's always interesting. It's always fun. There's always something more to learn with art. It's part of why I love it. Oh, maybe I'll give it another 10 minutes or so. If no one hops on or has any questions, then I'll probably just call it a day. So if you did have a question, you did want to discuss something or talk about something, maybe you wanted to introduce yourself and say hi, let me know. I'm more than happy to chat anyone's ear off about just about anything. Well, just about anything tattoo related. Okay, maybe I will. Let's see. No, maybe we'll bring this out this way. Wear this around. Yeah, that'll be a nice little. There we go. Yeah, that'll create a nice little counterflow there. You know, it's just always something I like to try to do. Just find it fun drawing waves in different ways. Maybe this one we'll draw. Let's draw this one. Don't know if you guys can really see that or not. Hopefully you can. Yeah, that you can see a lot better. Let's try to draw some a bit more small and a bit more simple. And we'll give it more this kind of a shape. Almost like it's coming kind of up. So what I got into the habit of doing a while back is kind of marking out where I want some of my major um, branches on the finger wave to be. I find it just really helps keep everything that I'm doing a bit more organized. So we'll start off with a rough map. Now we'll make my pencil a little bit bigger, a little bit less opaque. And just start off by blocking things in, just keeping it pretty loose. crest over. Maybe this one will have two smaller guys, and then this one will be a bit bigger. Because remember, you never want waves to be perfectly repetitive. You always want to have something that kind of makes each little finger on the wave a bit different. You know, maybe it's a little branch coming off of one, or I don't know, maybe this guy's got a secondary branch down here, and that's going to make this a little busier, and then this a little bit more spread out, but it's going to make it look a lot more organic. Now we're going to switch up to a darker green, smaller pencil size, a little bit more opaque. Give this a little bump in between. Maybe a small little guy here. You know, play around with it. Have some fun with it. Make it different. Make it, I don't know, make it yours. It's kind of why when I first started drawing like waves and wave patterns and waveforms, I used to look at a lot of other people's waves just because at the time I didn't understand the concept of breaking things down, you know, and I was like, but they're waves and this person's looks cool, so why don't I just try to redraw these waves? And it's like, cool, if that works for you, do it, you know, just redraw them in a different way. Um, but when you start to really understand like how they achieved the effect that those waves did, and you're not just trying to mimic it, when you really start to understand it, it takes on a whole different meaning and a whole different beast. And now you can draw them instead of just drawing someone else's waves, you can draw your own because you understand the effects and how to achieve those effects. And a lot of that just comes from repetition and taking the time to sit and reflect on, you know, what what is it that you like about that? Why does this wave appeal to you when none of the other ones do? You know, it all takes some time to sit back. It takes self-reflection. It's what it takes. On that note, everyone, I am going to end today a little bit early. Thank you for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. And I will catch you next Monday, maybe. I might be on my way back from Paradise Tattoo Gathering. Hopefully, I get to see all you guys there. But if I don't, I hope you guys keep your hands busy, keep them sketching. And I will catch you in a week or two. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button at the bottom of the page. And I'll catch all of you guys in a week or two.